Good evening and welcome to this session of the live coaching classes organized by the Board of Studies, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. It's nice to be back again this evening discussing this exciting topic in company law called management and administration. Though they give it a very dry name, do you agree that it's very exciting because this deals with the dynamics of corporate management, this and board meetings. Together, that's how companies are run. Once you know these rules, you know the basics of how companies are managed. So that's why it's very important for us to understand this. Before I begin, let me pray. As usual, our chant, Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karvavahai, Tejasvina Vadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. See, this prayer is not just about the physical environment. In this case, the e-environment, the internet connectivity, etc., etc. It's also for us, that's why, when sometimes I'm saying Om Shanti, 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 you'll find that I reduce the last Shanti because the first one is for the environment around us and our own ability to, the second one is the physical environment. And the third one is inside our own patience, our willingness to listen, our willingness to take in the subject. Okay, that is also there. Your worst enemy is here in your mind, not allowing you to listen, keeping on putting questions in your mind when you should be understanding the subject. Most of you are so confused and ready with questions that you are not willing to understand the subject. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm saying nothing wrong in that, but so first of all, open the mind. Let the subject go in. Sometimes the questions will disappear, right? So whom have we here? Usual, Dhyanesh is here and Dhyanesh is yet to do some research for me. Don't worry, Dhyanesh, in case you don't give it by tonight, tomorrow I will give the answer to you. Don't worry about that. As a teacher, it is my duty to answer all your questions. Dhyanesh was asking a very nice question about connected with incorporation of companies or something similar to that. You can say it's a combined question because the answer to my question that I asked Dhyanesh is in share capital and debentures. It's not in incorporation. So basically, he was asking, wholly owned subsidiary, the holding company will be holding 100% of the shares. So there will be only one shareholder. Whereas for private company and public company, there should be 2 or 7 as the case may be. So is that not a violation of the Companies Act? Is what he is asking. Very correctly. His logic was correct. Then I have explained to him that in practice, what happens, the holding company, it will not hold in the entire shares. It means the holding company will be the beneficial owner of 100% of the shares. That's why it is a wholly owned subsidiary. But for the purpose of complying with minimum number, the holding company will nominate 1 or 6 persons. If it's a private company, 1 more guy. If it's a public, 6 more people. To each one of them, the holding company will transfer 1 share. They will not be beneficial owners. They will be nominees and they will be holding the shares as nominees. The beneficial owner will be the company. When you studied members register and all, you would have studied this. You would have studied that the company should hold its shares in its own name. All securities should be held in its own name. But exception, in the case of a wholly owned subsidiary, shares can be held by nominees only for the purpose of making the minimum number. Means 2 or 7 as the case may be. It's an exception to that rule. So these people will be nominees and they will make up the 2 and 7. And that. But very good question. And I hope Dhyanesh got the answer. Alok is here. Muhammad Aslam has asked a question. We'll come to that. Nikita ji is here. Namal. And Mitesh Bhai Patel is here. Manoj Kumar Thakur. Patsardi is here. Good. Good evening, sir. And Alok Shivalani is here. Karthik. So thank you very much, Karthik, for those nice words. And Manoj, again, management is a basic steel. Exactly. I think you made a very beautiful point. It is a basic steel structure. Exactly. Framework. Very, very correctly identified. Thank you very much. And so nice of you, Shubham ji. And Abdul, the report. Okay, Abdul, as usual, comes out with the question. Let's come to that later. Correct. So Dhyanesh now gets the thing. Correct, correct. So the exception is there. Very beautiful. So that's all. I'm so happy. See, this type of research done by students, no, automatically you people will become very much expert in company law. We will come to, he was talking about slide 49. Let's go there quickly. We've covered a lot of ground, but today I hope to cover more ground. 49 was what our friend Islam was talking about. I don't know, suddenly out of the blue question, I can't answer. Boss, just first understand one thing now. We are giving information about shareholding of the directors in another company. In case the other, you are going to enter into a contract or something with the other company, you will have to get it approved in the company. Suppose you have to pass a resolution. Ordinary or special, doesn't matter. It is, but it is a special business. Kyun? Because only those 4 matters at AGM are ordinary, boss. Everything else is special. Whenever it's a special business, not special resolution, special business. Special business may be ordinary resolution or special resolution. But if it is special business, then you have to include an explanatory statement. In that material, all material information has to be given. One of which is shareholding. So where it's another company is involved, maybe you are entering into a contract or lending money or investing in that company, whatever may be the nature of the transaction, you are asking the members to pass a resolution. Then you have to tell the members whether any promoter, director, manager, or every other KMP, in case, okay, he is having shareholding not less than 2%, then please, I think maybe the way I've written it, you got confused. If it is less than 2%, you need not give. If it is less than 2%, you need not give. If it is more than 2%, then you have to give the details, extent, how many shares, etc. you have to give. Again, this is meant to give the shareholders, I think the confusion was less than. So please read, not less than 2%. Okay, so your question was, why need to disclose if less than 2%? Please read it. Now say less than 2%. You have to disclose if not less than 2%. If the shareholding is not less than 2%, then you have to disclose it. Which is why my guru always used to say, Shrikant, write not in capitals. In my exams, you know, when I used to write the answers, I will always write not in capitals. Okay, Abdul has a question. Let us see what it is and then we'll move on. Good evening, Mr. Shubham. Thank you. Hello, hello, sir. Abdul. I have a question that if board has held the AGM on the last day, either on the 15th and the quorum is not available on that. No, that's a good question. That is, they have held it on the very last day. Possible. Okay. That is, Abdul's questions are always negative questions. What happens if they do the wrong things? But it's quite natural. They can hold it on the last day because they have time to hold it till that date. That is the last day. Am I correct? 15 months or 6 months or whatever, etc., etc. Beautifully said. And quorum is not available on that meeting. Okay. So no problem. The board, see, the board has to call and hold. Validly convened. That's all. Their duty is over. There is no non-compliance. There is no non-compliance. Okay. Thereafter, if the quorum is not present within half an hour, if the meeting is called by the board, it will be done. It can go beyond that also. See, here I will talk to you about one thing. Later on, I will talk about it when we come to adjourn meeting. When a meeting is adjourned, you know, it is not 2 meetings. It is the same meeting adjourned. Please understand. Together, they are one meeting. It is not as if that adjourned meeting is an alag meeting. Dubara, no. It is the same meeting. Okay, extension. So the board has complied with the law. They have called it. And the meeting has been called and the board has come waiting. These donkeys don't come. Quorum is not present. Chalo, what to do? We will move on. The provisions of law take over. Moreover, please understand, the board cannot do anything. This is a statutory stand adjourned, stand cancelled. So if the meeting shall stand adjourned to the same day in the next week at the same time and place. Or if such other day, okay, whatever. The board can also decide. In case the board can also decide. Right? So, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So this is my answer to your question. There is no violation of the law. Consequences, the meeting will get adjourned half day, same time, same day, or board can determine another day. On that day, if the adjourned meeting also quorum is not present half an hour, members present shall be the quorum. It's all matter over. Okay. So we saw all these things. Let's again start here. I think we stopped here. It will go on. Or no, I think we moved on. Right? No. Yeah, we are here. Let's do this. Quorum shall be present throughout the meeting. Very important. This is not in the law. This is secretarial standard, which is mandatory. Okay. Which is mandatory, right? So. No, Alok, why are you confusing? The register need not extend. You have already held it. See, Abdul is talking about a situation where meeting has been called correctly by the board. There is no problem, no need for extension. Board calls on the very last day. His question is, on that day, if the quorum is not present, what to do? Chalo, the law will take over, that's all. There will be no violation of AGM ka rule. The board is not liable. That much is sure. If that is the basic question Abdul is trying to ask, there is no violation. Very good question, Abdul. I hope I have given an answer, and I think you are satisfied with the answer. Thank you, sir. So quorum shall be present throughout the meeting. See, earlier, this standard was not mandatory. It was not there. Therefore, the law was silent. The earlier law, the so-called 1956 law, which according to me is a better law in some ways, at least language-wise, it's a better language. The English is better. So this law is totally Ganda English. It's the fellow who drafted it doesn't know English. So point here is in that it was silent. So we used to say it is enough if quorum is present at the beginning. So the chairman calls the meeting. The chairman calls the meeting to order, counts the head or whatever the quorum he is personally present. You know the rules. 5 members, 15, like that, 10, 15, etc., etc. He counts it. He is personally present. Meet quorum present. Then 3 donkeys walk out. No problem. Meeting can proceed. This is how we used to tell. Now, no. Quorum shall be present throughout the meeting. That is not only at the time of commencement of the meeting, but also while transacting business. So for every item of agenda, there should be a quorum. Okay, this is something new and interesting and important. Members who are voted by remote e-voting have the right to attend the general meeting. So they have the right. Accordingly, their presence shall be counted because they have voted now. So that will be taken as member in person. Remote e-voting means he is voting in person through e-voting. And he has the right to attend general meeting. Therefore, here, see, why do they come to the general meeting? Not to eat jangri and laddu, but to vote. That this fellow has done. Therefore, their presence shall be counted for the purpose of quorum. A member who is not entitled to vote on any particular item of business, being a related party, if present, shall be counted for the purpose of quorum, only for quorum, but he cannot vote. His vote will become void. A related party means he is either director. You know that we saw that whole list of fellows. If that guy is a shareholder, he can attend as a member. He will be counted for quorum, but he cannot vote on that matter. You got it? The stipulation regarding the presence of a quorum does not apply with respect to items of business transacted through postal ballot. Obviously, where is quorum for postal? See, quorum is when the meeting happens at a physical place and people have to come physically or vote through remote e-voting. Whatever it is, there is a time and place appointed for the meeting. Whereas in postal ballot, there is no meeting beating. You vote and on a particular day, votes are counted, passed, not passed. That's all. Right? I think we'll be seeing that shortly. We'll be seeing it elaborately. Postal ballot, blah, 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 we'll see. Now, ABE Limited has 2,300 members and the AGM of the company is to be held on 23rd February 2019 at 10:30 a.m. On the day of the meeting, 18 members were personally present by 11 a.m. So 2,300 members, 15. So 10, you got it. There are 5 items of special business to be discussed at the said meeting. So what is the quorum to be present? Where does it come here? Let's quickly see the, sorry. So more than 1,000 up to 5,000, 15, correct? 15, 1-5, hai na? 1-5. Whereas for ABE, we got 18, personally present by 11 a.m. No problem. So quorum present within half an hour and the chairman presided the meeting. There were 5 items of special business to be transacted. And by 2:30 p.m., imagine from 11 a.m. these buggers are talking, arguing, my God, 2:30 p.m. agenda 1 to 3 have been discussed and appropriate result. However, 4 of the members simply said, hey, let us go, we have an emergency, and they went. Balance 4 and 5 were passed. So what happened? 4 went. When 4 went, what happened? Quorum came to 14. Members came to 14. Now quorum is not present. Comment whether the meeting is properly convened. It is properly convened, but it is not properly constituted for agenda 4 and 5. It is a properly convened meeting. It is properly constituted up to 3. 1, 2, 3 items. 4 and 5, quorum was not present. Therefore, those 2 items are invalid. The resolutions passed are invalid. Any decision taken on that will not be binding, which is why you have to be very, very careful while dealing with companies. Company has 6,500 members. 12 members in person and about 100 proxies. Sorry, quorum is not present. The proxies claim that the meeting has a valid quorum. Sorry, they are wrong. The chairman is correct. Okay, what is the number required for this company? What is the number required? 30 members for exceeds 5,000. 30 fellows have to come. Whereas how many have come? Only 12. So not valid. How many ever proxies are there? No. See, a proxy is only representing a member for voting on his behalf. He is not a member. Even though we'll come to proxy, you will have that further doubt. Can a proxy be a member? Yes. Will he be counted for quorum 2 times? No. As a member, he will be counted once. Co-proxy, as a proxy, he won't be counted again. So as a member, he will be counted once. That's all, in his own right. If he is a proxy for 20 people, he won't be 20. It will be just 1. When he is voting, he'll be voting for himself and for all those 20 guys. Okay. More about it when we come to proxy. Now moving on to another important area. And Alok, I didn't correct you. I just wanted you to be clear that, this could take you into the long area. That's it. Chalo, let us understand the difference between adjournment and postponement. There are 2 words. It looks similar, as in English, there are so many words that are meaning-wise, they look similar, but not identical. Right? So, postponement is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date before the date of meeting. See, I have called the meeting. Date of meeting is, say, 27th of March 2023. Already fixed. Notice has been sent, 21 clear days, etc., etc. Suddenly, the government announces some lockdown or some nonsense. They say, that is all, you can't do anything like that. Therefore, you have to call off the meeting, postpone the meeting. So, we will send a mail to all the members saying, we sent you a notice saying there's a meeting on such and such a day due to this announcement by the central government, blah, blah, blah. Meeting cannot be held there. Either we will give you the date or they will say the meeting will be decided to held on April 20th. That is not adjournment. That is postponement. That is postponement. So member is told this meeting is not there. Instead, it will be on that day. It won't be held. It will be held on later. Adjournment is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date at the meeting. So the meeting is called, held. Then we wait for the quorum. Quorum is not present. Or the members decide that sufficient data has not been given. We want this data. After seeing that, we'll pass the resolution. So the chairman can adjourn the meeting. So a meeting may be adjourned either by choice of the members or by the chairman. It can be adjourned. Or it can be adjourned for want of quorum, which we saw statutorily. Can be adjourned. Later on, when you come to final level, when a director retires by rotation and he is not reappointed, and the meeting has not expressly resolved and the meeting has not expressly resolved not to fill the vacancy, then again there is a statutory adjournment. So anyway, don't worry, it's not there now. But when you study that, remember, you need to remember meetings a little bit. By then, you should not have forgotten this important topic. Okay, this topic is very important because many of the concepts you are going to study here will become very relevant for you even in final. And when you are practicing also. So this one chapter, try to remember it. Don't just mug up for the exam, vomit and forget. Try to keep it as hardcore read-only memory, which will not be erasable. Try. That way you'll be seen as an authoritative chartered accountant. So when you go as a statutory auditor or CFO and you are knowledgeable about the company law relating to meetings, generally the directors and the other people will be very highly respectful to you. Because today, all these things, company secretary is seen as the authority. I'm not denying them that right to claim to be an expert in this area. But I humbly submit that we chartered accountants are also equally expert in this. Because, see, the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, of which I'm a member, I'm a fellow member of the Institute of Company Secretaries, it came into existence in 1982. The Companies Act was enacted in 1956. Till 1982, who was the expert in company law? Practicing chartered accountants, or rather chartered accountants. We were the experts. Even now. So please don't think that this is an ancillary subject. We try to maintain some knowledge level in this area, especially in management and administration, which will be very useful to you later, whether you are in service or in practice. Adjournment is when the meeting is scheduled for a later date at the meeting, either by choice or statutorily. Cancellation is when a scheduled meeting is not held at all due to act of God, as you know, pandemic, blah, whatever. So it can happen. Means cannot be held. In those cases, you have to see. This is one question that our friend Abdul may want to ask. Suppose we held it on the last date, and on that date, act of God, what to do, like that. What to do? Wait, because you have to wait for the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to come out with the circular that it is okay, you can hold it later. There is no violation, which is what our lady finance minister kept on doing. Pandemic, throughout the pandemic period, she was extending. That's what she was doing. As rightly pointed out by Alok, she kept on extending. Now we go to proper adjournment. So adjournments can be statutory. The meeting stands adjourned. Non-statutory by volition, not violation. Violation is a different word. Violation means when you do not obey the law, you violate it. Volition means of your own free will when you do something. You have decided to become a CA by volition, by choice. Okay? So non-statutory or by volition or choice. You decide to adjourn. It can be done. See, the members may decide, we need more time to think. Or the chairman himself may suggest, hey, let's take some more time on this. Let's get some more data and we'll discuss it again and pass. Nothing wrong. Okay. Then the meeting is adjourned, non-statutory. Under non-statutory adjournment, you have two types. One is called sine die. Sine die is a Latin term, meaning without specifying the date. So when a meeting is adjourned sine die, fresh notice has to be given. When you say without date, we will adjourn, we will tell you then when it will be held. So we will inform. Then you have to inform. You have to give proper 21 days notice again and hold it. If the meeting is adjourned, sine die. Whereas if at the time of adjournment itself, the chairman decides, let us adjourn it and we'll hold the adjourned meeting on such and such a day, then that will be date of that. No need for notice. No need for fresh notice because at the meeting we have informed. But still, to be on as a matter of courtesy, you might send a mail, but there is no statutory requirement. Please note, as I mentioned to you now, where a meeting is adjourned, the original and adjourned meetings together, I repeat, where a meeting is adjourned, the original and adjourned meetings together become one meeting. But where a resolution is passed at an adjourned meeting of a company or any class of holders of shares or board, the resolution shall be treated as passed on the day it was actually passed and not on any earlier date. Why, I'm keeping on telling you now, when a meeting is adjourned, the original and adjourned meeting shall be taken as a single meeting. Immediately your mind will start working. Sir, that means if I pass a resolution in the adjourned meeting, does it mean it was passed in the original meeting? No. The resolution is passed on the day it was actually passed, which could be the adjourned meeting. Got it? So that doubt need not come to you. Right? Yeah, parliament can be adjourned sine die. Means the speaker will say, adjourned sine die means we will inform you. So they will be given fresh notice. They'll have to come and attend whenever they. Parliament is also a meeting. In that sense, many of the rules of meeting we are studying here. See, our Companies Act, since you raised this issue, I'm telling you, our parliamentary proceedings, Companies Act, we are based on the British law. It's called the Westminster Rules. We follow what's known as the Westminster Rules in India because we were British subjects. And so we continue to follow. Whereas in US and most parts of Europe, Germany, Spain, France, etc., they follow what is known as Robert's rules of proceedings. It's slightly different. In Roberts, in Westminster, we have something called a division. It's in Companies Act, nothing is there. Later on, you'll see method of voting, you'll see only show of hands and then poll. Whereas in Roberts rules, you have voice. In Westminster, you have voice. In Roberts, no voice, only division. Voice, no voice, only division. And you move out. So all those in favor to my right, all those in favor to my left. That's called division. All the A's and no's. In Westminster also it is there. And of course, show of hands is there. And voting is there. Polling is there. Okay. For your information. So most of these rules that I'm reading are taken from what is known as Westminster rules. Sir, sign a day, it's not cancellation, sir. We are telling that the meeting will be held in future. We will inform you. Why don't you listen to what is being said, Abdul, without simply thinking up newer and newer questions to ask? Cancel means what? The meeting is not held at all. But adjournment means what? It will be held, except the date won't be informed. That's all. In sign a day, we are not specifying the date, time, everything we will tell later. Understand? So kindly, don't ask questions for the sake of asking questions. God has blessed you with a huge brain, which is capable of asking questions. Why can't that brain not be employed in understanding also? Okay, chalo. So, not be treated as passed at the original meeting. It will be on the day it's actually passed. We move on to another interesting topic called proxy. Who is a proxy? What is a proxy? Both. Who is a proxy? Proxy is a person who attends any general meeting of a company on behalf of a member. So normally, member should attend in person. Due to preoccupations or other activities, member is not able to come. Then he can appoint a person called a proxy who will attend on his behalf. Who is a proxy? What is a proxy? Proxy is the instrument. Instrument means anything by which a right is conferred. Do you remember? We studied it when we studied interpretation of statutes. Instrument is anything by which a right is conferred or a duty is conferred. So by this proxy form, a right and a duty is confirmed. Right to attend the meeting, duty to vote on behalf of the member. Okay, right to call for a poll, right to demand a poll, etc. These are all rights of a proxy. So this proxy is the instrument or document by which the proxy is authorized by the member to attend any general meeting of a company on behalf. So proxy is the form and also the person. Both are proxy, called proxy. So the word proxy is a single word having two connotations. One is person who attends, and that fellow will carry a paper which will contain the signature of the member, which is an authorization, which is called proxy. Okay. Member who attends himself, that is by himself, okay, is said to attend in person or is personally present. So quorum, he will be counted. Members personally present, he will be counted. When a proxy attends the meeting on behalf of a member, please note, the member is said to attend through proxy. Don't say proxy is attending. Proxy is attending on behalf of a member. So the member is attending through proxy. So a member can vote in three ways. A member can vote on a resolution in three ways. One, by attending in person and voting. Two, by appointing a proxy who votes on his behalf. Three, remote e-voting. This is the third method now. Remote e-voting is one more method. I don't have to attend in person. I'm not appointing a proxy. I am going to the link and voting through e-voting. This is the third now method for a member to vote. Fourth, okay, these three cases, there will be a meeting, actual meeting in these three cases. Whereas in the fourth case, postal ballot, no meeting. The resolution will be circulated, postal ballot will be received, announced. Fourth method for voting. Okay. Now, any member of a company entitled to attend and vote at a meeting shall be entitled to appoint another person as a proxy to attend and vote at the meeting on his behalf. Right? I already told you about this. Unless the articles of the company otherwise provide, the above provision shall not apply in the case of a company not having a share capital. So if the articles otherwise provide, it will be there. Otherwise, Company not having share capital, the member cannot appoint a proxy. Either attends in person or that's all. He will not be considered. But the articles can provide for proxy. If the articles provide, then proxy can be appointed. But if the articles are silent, then proxy cannot be appointed by a member of a company not having share capital. See, I have told very clearly. So please don't have any doubt on this. Okay. I mean, you can have doubt, but try to listen to me rather than only thinking of questions. The central government may prescribe a class or classes of companies whose members shall not be entitled to appoint another person as a proxy. Okay, they may prescribe, but nothing prescribed as of now. Just they have given themselves the power. This instrument appointing a proxy, we call that also as a proxy. That form of appointment of a proxy shall be in the form MGT 11. MGT 11. MGT is management and administration, that MGT. The instrument MGT, the instrument appointing a proxy shall be in writing and be signed by the appointer or his attorney. Attorney means power of attorney. Friends, please note, Mr. A has gone abroad. Before going abroad, he has made his sister his power agent. That person is called attorney. He's an agent, power agent. Now, in this case, the power agent, when they sign, the attorney, they are signing on behalf of the member. Nothing wrong. Power agent can sign. That is why they say can be signed by the appointer or his attorney. Attorney means power of attorney or power agent. Duly authorized in writing. Or if the appointer is a body corporate under its seal or be signed by an officer or the attorney duly authorized by it. See, so either the corporate can appoint a proxy to attend, or in case an officer or it has got an attorney, that attorney can sign. Okay. The date, the timing is very important. The proxy shall be filed with the company at its registered office not later than 48 hours before the meeting. So we can say the proxy should be filed at least 48 hours before the meeting. 48 hours means hours. It's not. So time appointed for the meeting, you have to work back 48 hours. The proxy should be received 1 minute before that, not 1 minute after that. Then it can be rejected. The articles of a company may prescribe a period longer than 48 hours before a meeting of the company for deposit of the proxy form to be considered valid. If so, such a provision shall have effect as if a period of 48 hours has been specified or required by such provision. So, as per the articles, you put 72 hours. No problem. But 72 will be read as if it is 48. So, 48 is a statutory right. Company cannot say, if you want to appoint a proxy, you have to appoint 96 hours, 72 hours before. Like that. No. 48 hours before you can do. Anything deposited 48 hours before valid. So even if the articles have a provision, the 48 hours will be read as if whatever is prescribed will be read as if it is 48 hours. Sir, representative is a person who is authorized by the company to attend. He can in turn appoint a proxy. Okay, proxy is a statutory word. Proxy is a person attending a meeting on behalf of the shareholder. Representative is a wider term. Okay, it's a very wide term. So don't confuse between the two. There is no need to confuse. I have defined proxy very clearly, and I have told how it will be appointed and all. Such a person is a proxy. Except in the case of a company, there are two ways of doing it. One is the body corporate can itself under its seal. If it has a seal, it can do. Or an officer or the attorney, that is the agent or authorized representative of that company, can appoint a proxy by signing the proxy. So you can say a company can have an authorized representative to attend the meeting. Such an authorized representative can appoint a proxy. That person will be a proxy. If the authorized representative is attending in person, that is member in person. Whereas if that fellow is signing a proxy form and sending, that is a proxy. Whether member includes auditor, is it in any way a correct question, Mr. Mohammad Aslam? What you are asking? You are asking like that. You are confused. You are confused, but you cannot confuse me. You are going and linking it to some other provision. You know which? I know where you are coming from. Notice has to be served on auditor. So can auditor appoint a proxy? I know, sir, how convolutedly you are all thinking. I am going there for you. Don't raise such questions. Auditor has, please remember auditor position I taught you. Statutory auditor shall attend AGM. Shall. Or else he has to send his, or else he can send his another qualified partner or qualified assistant. Please. That's a separate alike provision. It has been already covered. Don't confuse that with this. 1. 2. Auditor has no right to vote. Auditor has no right to vote. So, there is no point in appointing a proxy. Why am I appointing a proxy to vote on my behalf? Why should auditor appoint a proxy? 1. Whether member includes auditor, what question is this? Member has been clearly defined. Every person who applies in writing to become a member of the shareholder, a member of the company, and whose name is entered in the register of members, clearly defined how that definition will include an auditor. You tell me. See, Mama Aslam, I will appreciate knowledge. The question should show depth of knowledge. Merely asking question for question's sake is not a good idea. Your question should reflect your knowledge, depth. You got my point? So that means that you are not aware of definition of member. You are asking this question. So I hope I have understood your question and answered it. But please do not ask such questions unnecessarily. Where you can easily get the answer by thinking. There is a facility of brain, which is called thinking. It can be used. All of us have that ability. ChatGPT need not do all the thinking for us. We can think on our own. Chalo. Sorry for that, but then be careful. Whether member includes auditor, you are expecting me to answer. I'm answering. Go. Sir, what is the meaning of entitled to vote except on a poll? See, where do you get it from? Can you be more elaborate so that I can answer? Proxy is entitled to vote on a poll. What do you mean by entitled to vote except on a poll? Proxy is entitled to vote on a poll only. So I don't know what you're entitled to vote except on a poll. Proxy is entitled to vote. Okay. He can, on a poll. We'll come to that. When you see this topic, you wait, Sraboni ji, for another half an hour. When I come to method of voting, we will understand it better. How a proxy will vote, etc. Polling. Come to that, you will understand. Don't worry. I will be teaching polling. At that time, we will talk. Correct. When a body corporate holds the shares of a particular company holding the meeting, how will the body corporate attend? It is an artificial person. So it will authorize somebody, an officer or an attorney. That fellow also may not be able to come. Then he can in turn appoint a proxy by signing the proxy form. Got it? If I am a member of the company, then can you appoint me? Yes, I can. Why should I not? I may not want to, Mr. Rashid, but yes, technically I can. Technically, I can. See, whatever is written in study material, please do not quote because I do not have access to study material and I have not got the study material by-hearted in my mind. Got it? So, ask a proper question. Okay. And this is the offhand question. I cannot answer it because I cannot go to the study material, go through it and all. Sorry. Just come with the flow. Proxy can vote on behalf of a member. Member is entitled to vote in person, that is, member is entitled to vote on show of hands as well as by poll. Proxy can vote only on poll. If you can understand the subject this way, please understand. I cannot explain the Institute material to you. That is not my job. I am here to teach the Companies Act. If you are not understood anything, I am telling you, ask, I will answer, clarify. But I cannot go remember what is there in the Institute material. This is not some CBSE lecture, madam, where I have to go only by the textbook. This is a wide subject. And the man teaching you is teaching directly from the section. So kindly, stop the CBSE 10th standard, 12th standard approaches. If it is so in the material, it's okay, ma. You are not. I'm teaching you fresh from the fountainhead, from Gangotri, Yamunotri, I'm giving you the law. Why don't you learn directly from me? Ignore the material for a short time. Then later on, when the knowledge has come, go and read it, you will understand it. What do you say? Or else you take a photograph of that page and send it to me by WhatsApp. If I see that, then I may be able to understand the full context. I will explain to you. Offhand, I am unable to explain. You understand? One more thing, If you ask me something from the study material, please do not ask that way. That's what it's very difficult for me to react, because you might be giving it out of context. What you are telling may be part of a bigger paragraph. What was told before, I don't know. What is told afterwards, I don't know. How I can react to this? Not possible. Huh? So that's what I said. Now, all CBSE, NCERT type of approaches. This is a CA exam, yeah, where your knowledge should be directly from the barrack. I'm teaching that. So just listen to me. Automatically, you will understand the subject. Can proxy appoint another proxy? No. We'll come to that now. I'll be telling. Proxy cannot. Why? Later on, we will study. I don't know if you studied agency. Maybe in general contract, you would have studied agency. Delegatus non potest delegate. An agent cannot in turn appoint an agent. Yeah. Correct. Means proxy cannot vote by show of hands. He can vote only on poll. So that's what it means. I don't know. Entitled to vote. See, that must be, the wording should be, proxy shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. That is the correct sentence. A proxy shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. That should be the full sentence. If you only give me entitled to vote except on a poll, how I can give a reply? The correct sentence could have been, a proxy is entitled to vote, full stop, or a proxy shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. That means, as Jnanesh correctly says, proxy cannot vote by show of hands, but he can vote on a poll. The Articles of Ultima Software Limited provides that proxy should be represented 72 hours before. Sushil has been appointed as proxy for Shekhar Verma to attend the AGM to be held on 22nd July at 10 a.m. He deposited the proxy form with the company at 9:30 a.m. on 20th July, less than 72 hours before. Is it valid? No. The MD is wrong. As rightly pointed out by our good friend Mohammad Aslam, the proxy is valid because any provision in the articles mentioning 72 hours shall be read as if it is 48 hours. So within 48 hours, he is deposited. Before 48 hours, so it's valid. This is not 48 hours, it's less than 72 hours. 9:30 a.m. on 20th July. Okay. So see, 22nd July, 10 a.m. So he should deposit on 19th, you should deposit it. Whereas he's deposited only on 20th. It's still valid because the 72 will be read as 48. An instrument appointing a proxy in the form MGT 11 shall not be questioned on the ground that it fails to comply with any special requirements specified for such requirement by the instrument by the articles. Articles cannot prescribe any special thing. So long as it is in the form MGT 11, you cannot say it should be like this, it should be on green paper and all. No. So long as it is in form MGT 11 signed by the member or by the authorized representative or agent of the member or by the company by his common seal or authorized representative, then valid. A proxy shall not have the right to speak at the meeting and shall not be entitled to vote. This is what our friend Sravoni Das was trying to ask. A proxy shall not have the right to speak at the meeting and shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. So you are giving me entitled to vote except on a poll. You are missing out those three words there. Shall not be entitled. Only then the meaning will come. Otherwise, the phrase that you have given me is meaningless phrase. For an expert in company law, this is a meaningless phrase. 100% sure the study material will not say this alone. The study material would have told this what I have put here. Shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. What does that mean? Proxy can vote. Voting is by two methods. One by show of hands, where you raise your hands. Proxy cannot vote on show of hands. Another is poll. Proxy can vote on poll. So proxy shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. On a poll, he can vote. So, and he cannot speak at the meeting. What does that mean? See, what does that mean? Think about it. Just think about it. I'm giving an example. Don't take it literally. There is a parivar, 15 brothers. Okay, their children, everybody. Okay. They want to take some decisions regarding the property. They are having a huge property. okay, outside of Delhi, about 15 kilometers outside the outskirts, beyond, what shall I say, the Gurgaon and beyond, maybe almost nearer to this thing, they are having this one big property, okay, farmland with farmhouse and all. They want to decide on how to sell that property, okay. They have a big Parivarka meeting. Now, one of the brothers is sitting in Los Angeles, fellow cannot attend. So he has a friend, okay, in Delhi, another Sardarji, he says, hey, you go and attend that meeting and you vote on my behalf. That fellow is a proxy. Just example I'm giving you. Now think about it. This is a family meeting, boss. They'll be discussing so many things. Uncle will stand up and say, you don't know about this building. I have seen when I was a small boy, Papaji used to do like, hey, that is their family story. Yeah? This fellow, the lawyer who's attending, the proxy cannot stand up and say, yes, uncle, I also know. Hey, who are you? You are just coming to what purpose? To vote on behalf of your friend in Los Angeles. Keep your mouth shut and sit down. Regarding the subject, we will speak. Finally, when the vote is taken, you are entitled. At that time, you come. Till then, you have no role to play in this parivar. You understand this? The concept I'm telling. Similarly, members have the right to speak because they are the owners of the company. Proxy is simply attending to vote. That fellow cannot open his mouth. So he has not got the right to speak. See, suppose they are giving jangri or laddu, he can ask, I want one more jangri. That is okay. But other than that, on the subject of the meeting, he cannot ask any question. This is something we will enforce very, very strictly. When somebody is standing up and asking a question, we will ask, are you a member or a proxy? Oh, I'm a proxy. Then sit down. You cannot talk. Member, come and ask any question, I will answer. This is why. Similarly, voting, first stage, voting will be show of hands. Proxy cannot vote on show of hands. But the minute the voting by show of hands is announced, proxy can stand up. Now he can stand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. That's all. Once he demands a poll, then chairman has to do nothing. He has to simply call for a poll. Poll means a piece of paper will be given. They will all vote. On show of hands, one man, one vote. On a poll, one share, one vote. See how the dynamic shifts. More about it when we come to voting pattern. Here, what you need to remember is proxy cannot vote on show of hands, but he can demand a poll and also vote on a poll. I think now Sraboni's question is answered. Madam, just confirm to me whether I have answered that study material doubt now. Is this what is given in the study material? And shall not be entitled to vote except on a poll. I think with that way, if you understand, you will be clear. Right? Good. See, boss, I am teaching from the barrack. Yeah. That is the fountainhead. At one stage, you people have to come out of that hang-up with the study material. Because, see, believe me, in those days when we prepared for CA exam, we will study from a variety of sources. We used to go to the barrack. We used to study costing from foreign authors. We used to read foreign books, Colin Drury, all sorts of books we used to read. Not that the study material was not good. We used to take our material from other places also. CMA material I will go and study. All sorts of sources we will have for our preparation. You people are so blindly following study material. Please, my fear is not about law. Law, luckily for you, the study material is very good. But accountancy, you cannot take such a risk. You need to work out problems from a variety of sources. Okay, kindly understand what I'm saying. Don't be so like, CBSE students, don't be like that. State board students, don't be like that. CA exam, you cannot crack it. See, the sufferer will be you. If you do such preparation, the exam will be different. The question will be asked in a different manner. That is why our institute itself is giving you practice manual. Our institute is giving you so many things to study. Okay. And my lectures, best method is don't compare my lecture with study material. Why? Because I will be going in reverse orders. So you might find that it's a jerky. So if you keep on keeping the study material, listening, comparing, you cannot concentrate on what I'm saying. So you will be doing proofreading of the institute material based on my lecture. Don't do that. Listen to me. Okay? Listen to me. And you will be able to remember. Then read study material, blah, blah, whatever you want to do, you do. Okay? Don't mistake me. I'm not saying study material don't read, but don't read it simultaneously with my lecture. Don't read the study material. You understand? You're wasting your time. Don't do that. By and large, what I'm giving in my slides are there in the study material only, but not exactly. I'm trying to make it easier for you. Asan, simple. I'm trying to help you. If you want to make it complicated, what can I do? You tell me. Okay, no problem. Now, should the proxy be a member? Harshit also was asking me that question. No, a proxy need not be a member. Exception. A member of a company registered under Section 8 shall not be entitled to appoint any other person as his proxy unless such other person is also a member. Because Section 8 companies are meant for a social cause. They should not allow some donkey to come. So they want to ensure that you can appoint a proxy, but that proxy should be a member. Only for Section 8 company, Sirf Section 8 company. Other companies, a proxy need not be a member. In fact, in the notice calling the meeting, you should very clearly mention a member entitled to attend and vote at the meeting shall be entitled to attend and vote through a proxy. A proxy need not be a member. This information in bold letters should be given in the notice so that a member, even if, see, all members may not be highly intelligent like you. Some may be ordinary, uneducated people like me. We don't know the law. We don't know company law. How will I know this? Only if they put it. So the statute has prescribed a rule that you should mention it in the notice so that even a member who is not well versed in company law should be given this information. Can a person be a proxy for more than one member? See, all these are questions you would have liked to ask now. I am myself asking and giving you the answers. Yeah, Mr. Parsarthi is right. On show of hands, one man, one vote. On a poll, one share, one vote. See, again, why proxy cannot vote on show of hands? See, this is one more reason why he cannot vote on show of hands. Practical. My guru, Professor K. Sanataram, used to say there is a physical or physiological reason why a proxy cannot vote on show of hands. I'll tell you. A person can act as proxy on behalf of not exceeding 50 members holding in the aggregate. That means all those guys, 50 guys together hold totally. In the aggregate means totally. Suppose you don't like in the aggregate, remove that in the aggregate and put totally. So not exceeding 50 members holding totally not more than 10% of the total share capital of the company carrying voting rights. I've already explained हजार times on carrying voting rights. I won't do it again. Okay. Shares of a company may be differential voting rights without voting rights also. But by and large, 98% shares, 99.5% carrying full voting only. So don't worry about that. So 50 members, if you total up their share capital, that they should not exceed not more than 10% of the total share capital of the company carrying voting rights. According to me, this thing is wrong. No, it is the law is there, but the law is unreasonable because this means what? A person, only up to 10% a person can be a proxy. You can appoint a proxy only up to 10% of the total share capital. So, means earlier, even 60% can be represented by one man. He can come and sit and vote. Now, no. So we have to appoint more proxies. So suppose I'm holding 60%, then I have to appoint 7 proxies so that each together will be not holding more than 10% or maybe 6 guys, each controlling 10%. I have to appoint 6 proxies because a single proxy cannot vote for more than 10% of the total share capital of the company. Okay. So that way, I don't know why they have put this. 50 members is okay. You restrict the number of members, okay. But how can you say percentage of total share capital? Chalo, but that is how they have done it. So a person can act as a proxy for more than one member, up to 50. The total shareholding of those 50 guys together shall not exceed 10%. The point is, suppose a single member is appointing a proxy. That single member is holding 20%. So he has to appoint 2 proxies now. No other go. Because up to more than 10% he cannot vote. Either I have to do it that way, or I have to say, see, I don't know how to see. This is where the confusion happens. Suppose it is more than one member, only this rule will apply. Suppose it is more than one member, only this rule will apply. Single person, he can appoint. Up to 60% also single proxy he can appoint. Like that also we can conclude. But there is an ambiguity here. I will interpret it in my favor and say, if it is a single member appointing single proxy, that is one member, one proxy. then that one proxy can control even more than 10%. But if multiple members are being represented by a single proxy, then up to 50, and the total cannot exceed 10%. I hope I have clarified the point now. Are you clear? Both conditions are to be satisfied, but only if a member is appointing more, one proxy is going to represent more than one member. Suppose a proxy is representing only one member, then that single proxy can control 60% also. Suppose one member is holding 60% shares. One single member is holding 60% of the paid up share capital, carrying voting rights. He can appoint one person as his proxy, and that one single man, that proxy cannot be proxy for any other person. Only one. He'll just walk in with the proxy form, he'll register the proxy form 48 hours before, come to the meeting with the suitcase, sit in the first row. And then only one proxy, simply sitting there. Then voting by show of hands. Immediately he'll stand up. Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. That's all. The whole dynamics of that meeting will change. Why? Because let us say there are 10 other members in that hall, including the chairman. Together they control how much? 40%. Whereas our man, the proxy, is controlling how much? 60%, single. All he has to do is take the polling sheet, registered folio number of the member, number of shares, whatever 60%, for or against. That's all, matter over. 60% against. Now, if all of them vote negatively, for example, we are having balance 40% shares. Now you have to multiply by 3. That many votes should, see, this is, he is voted against now, whereas that is 40. Okay, so on a special resolution, he cannot win. But ordinary resolution, he will win every time. On a special resolution, he cannot win. But ordinary resolution, he will win every time. Because number of votes cast in favor will be less than, the number of votes cast against will exceed. So the number of votes cast in favor will not exceed the number of votes cast against, if any. Against will be 60%, for will be 40, if he did. But special resolution, not possible. Let us say that, for example, I'm giving an example. One man, there are totally 2 lakh shares. Totally 2 lakh shares, right? Totally 2 lakh shares. One gentleman is holding 1,40,000. One gentleman is holding 1,40,000, right? Remaining 60,000 shares. Out of 2 lakh, 1,40,000 held by one man. Remaining 60,000 shares are held by others. Now, show of hands, this fellow is not even attending, it will fail. But the proxy will stand up and say yes. In which case, when he votes, 1,40,000 votes. 1,40,000 votes. Right? When he votes, it's 1,40,000 votes. Chalo. Against. For 40,000. For 40,000. Now, for a special resolution, how many votes should be against? The number of votes cast in favor shall be 3 times the number of votes cast against. So, 1,40,000 against. How many votes should be in favor? Think about it. 140 into 3. No way. Fellow will win. He will win every time. You understand? He will win every time. Okay. So, that is why proxy is so powerful. If you appreciate this now, instead of just mugging up the book, appreciate the dynamics of what I'm saying. Proxy is such a powerful person. He may be simply sitting in the corner. The minute voting starts, he will say, Chairman, I demand a poll. That's all. The whole dynamics of the meeting will change. Okay. A member holding more than 10% of the total share capital of the company carrying voting rights may appoint a single person as proxy. But such person shall not act as proxy for any other person or shareholder. Right? That's all. If you are representing one man more than 10%, that's all. You will represent only single person. That way they have protected this matter. This is a very, very interesting thing. Again, Aslam is saying 3/4. Again, why, my dear friend? Where is 3/4? How many times I will teach you? You will still forget. 3/4 is nobody's fraction. Please do not use 3/4, 2/3, blah, blue, blee. Number of votes cast in favor shall be not less than 3 times the number of votes cast against, if any. You are mugging up so many things. Can you not mug up this? Not only Aslam, everybody. Again, you're going back to your bad habits. 3/4, 2/3. Huh? Anyway, once again, I will be teaching you special resolution. Don't worry. Once again, I will teach you special resolution. It is proposed to appoint Sushil Menon as the proxy for attending the meeting of Ultima Software Solutions Limited to be held at Thiruvananthapuram on 22nd July 2022 in respect of the following members holding share capital as mentioned against their respective names. So Sushil Menon has to be appointed as the proxy for attending the meeting of Ultima Software as usual. Meeting is to be held in Thiruvananthapuram on 22nd July. So Achyut Menon, Anant Vasudevan, Keshav Guru, Narayan Unni Nair, Shekhar Verma. How many members? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No problem. Less than 50. Percentage they are holding 3 plus 2, 5 plus 5, 10. So with Shekhar Verma, it will become 22. So the proposal is not valid because the number of members should be less than 50, not exceeding 50, and they should hold totally not more than 10%. Okay, whereas here they are holding percentages more than 10%. So he may want to relook at it. Maybe he can, it depends, which combination. Somewhere he should ensure that total does not exceed 10. Got it? So he can go Shekhar Verma, Unni Nair, Anant Vasudevan, Achyut Menon, Keshav Guru push him, or Anant Vasudevan push him. That's all. It's your choice. Okay. Chalo. Beautiful. Moving on. Now, in every notice calling a meeting of a company which has a share capital, or it's providing for voting by proxy, there should be a clear, reasonable prominence in dark letters, a statement. I told you, member entitled to attend and vote is entitled to appoint a proxy, or where that is allowed one or more proxies to attend and vote instead of himself, and that a proxy need not be a member. Okay. If default is made in complying with the above provision, every officer of the company who is in default shall be liable. If this notice is not given if the statement is not given in the notice, offense. So every officer of the company shall be liable to a penalty of 5,000 rupees. Now, members are entitled to inspect the proxies because, see, in any controversial situation where there are two factions and they are trying to fight with each other, there will be proxy battles where, every member cannot come. So each group will try to hunt for proxies and get proxies and try to, play. So they want to be sure that there are no bogus proxies, forged signatures. So members are entitled to inspect the proxies. So inspection can be done right from 24 hours before the time fixed for the commencement of the meeting and ending with the conclusion. At any time, a member may demand that he should be given the opportunity to inspect the proxies. Okay. Not less than 3 days notice in writing of the intention shown to inspect shall be given. So if you are suspicious of the other faction, immediately you should file an intention. We hereby request that we should be permitted to inspect the proxies. Okay. See, corporate meetings are sometimes very simple. When it's a normally family managed company, most of them meeting itself won't be held. Believe me, the company secretary will prepare the minutes as if the meeting was held. Because what big meeting? Yeah, there are only 5 main shareholders. All of them are relatives. What's the big deal in holding a meeting and asking them to come? So we will say, ensure that all of them are in the town and that they came to the office on that day. Hold the meeting at the office, which is the registered office. And that's it. But controversial meeting where there is some fighting between the shareholders, every one of these rules will be tested. Every one of these sections will be tested. I've had experience of attending controversial meetings, extreme, where shareholders are unhappy, where the MD was pulled by the tie from the dais. I've been there. I gave another example where 2,000 members attended. Nobody came into the hall. And all members registered signed. Members in person, 1,500. Meet in the hall, nobody. Like that. That is also possible. Wonderful. He can either be appointed for 1 to 4% or only for 5th. No, my humble request is don't go by that. He has, see, that's what I told you, you do permutation and combination. Either 1 to 4, leave Shekhar Verma out, or go for Unni Nair, this guy is alone, like that. But he cannot, Shekhar Verma, he cannot be, because best thing is, the 1 to 4 you appoint somebody, Shekhar Verma you have somebody else, that's all. All members need not attend, no need. That is the whole point. See, only for quorum purpose, we need members personally present. That is why they have prescribed quorum, so that the entire meeting will not be conducted by proxies. So they say minimum number is needed, like 10, 15, 20, 30, etc. Once the quorum is present, proxies can control the meeting. I gave you an example now. In slide 72 example, they can appoint 2. They should appoint only 2 proxies. What to do? That is obvious. They want to appoint this one guy called Sushil Menon for all of them. Is that valid? No. Thereafter, how they appoint is their problem. Anyway, they will appoint 2. Ideally, Shekhar Verma will have 1 and the remaining 4 will have another. Okay? Correct. Not valid. Proxy has right to choose the member. Sir, member only chooses the proxy. Proxy can refuse to attend. Obviously, suppose you tell me, sir, Srikanth, you want to go as a proxy. I will go to hell, I've got better things to do. But proxy, who he can choose the member, Baba? Member decides who will be the proxy. See, understand common sense, common sense. Who decides? Member says, I cannot come. Then who will decide the proxy? Member only. How will the proxy decide the member? Maximum, I can go with the proxy form to meet the member and ask him, boss, if we want to vote in favor, are you coming for the meeting? No, I'm not coming. Then will you appoint me as your proxy? Member only will choose. If the member says go to hell, that's all. Nothing can be done. So I think you have to understand the subject with common sense. You will understand many of these questions are, think in the real life situation. It's a controversial fight between 2 groups. So there are members who are neutral. So we'll keep calling them up and going, and our lawyers will talk to them and say, I'm talking on behalf of so-and-so person who is a shareholder of Dubagor Limited. We would like to know how you are going to vote. Will you be in favor of the resolution? Yeah, I'm going to come and attend in favor. Thank you, sir. No, I want to vote in favor, but I cannot come. No problem, sir. Would you be interested in appointing me as your proxy or somebody as your proxy? Like that only this whole thing will happen. So the proxy will request and the member will decide. The proxy cannot decide. But if the proxy does not want, then there is. Got it? So in this case, these 5 people will decide. They have decided Sushil Menon, but Sushil Menon cannot be appointed. So they have to get 1 more guy. That fellow should be for Shekhar and the remaining for 4 others. That's common sense. There is one thing called common sense, which I wish our friend Abdul will start. Common sense is the greatest. Knowledge only comes later. A person with high knowledge and no common sense, difficult. Okay. Whereas a person with common sense, studying hard, can be very intelligent. Common sense is logic. Logic. What is this about? What is the basic point? What is the fundamental principle involved? When you start thinking like that, you are logical. Okay. This is not only for Abdul. All of you, you start doing this in your life. Please, I humbly beg you. Okay. Suddenly you will find your horizon widens. Your eyes open. Unmilitam we say. Your eyes will open up suddenly and you will see the world in a totally different perspective. See, what you are doing, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what you're doing. Huh? Don't mistake me for interrupting the class with this. What you're doing, you're taking a newspaper or whatever it is. I'm making it into a funnel. Huh? I'm making it into a funnel, or a cylinder. And then I'm looking through this. I can see only this much. And I'm seeing everything. And within that only, I'm asking questions. Once you remove this, you are able to see everything. Now you won't have any questions. Your questions will disappear. If at all you have question, it will be logical. This is what I'm not telling this to hurt your feelings. Far be from me any such intention. I want you to become brilliant chartered accountants. And the only way you can do this is remove this blinker called reading only the study material, not willing to go beyond that, not reading Barak, not understanding the basic principles. No. Try to go to the, I'm helping you now. I'm giving you in every section. I'm telling what is the basic principle, what is the, listen to me. Then most of your questions will disappear. Meeting on video conferencing for members is not yet come. Only for board of directors it is there. For members, it is not yet come. So, but during pandemic, they permitted video conferencing. But during pandemic, because of pandemic, nobody could go out. They allowed video conferencing. But most cases, they gave time for holding the meeting. So post-pandemic, they held physical meetings only. But video conferencing was allowed. In fact, at that time, they allowed. Reliance held possibly India's first video conferencing meeting when Mukesh Ambani addressed them, and it was a virtual meeting. Okay, but as of now, it is not there. But it could be there. As early as 1999, I suggested virtual, instead of calling it video conferencing, I would humbly suggest you call it virtual meetings. Where what we do, more like a webinar online on a website where they log in, they click and they come in. And so they will not be able to talk and all. They can only raise questions on chat and they'll be able to listen. So the members, the board members will be sitting in their houses or in a board meeting format. Camera will be there. Meeting will start, proceed. Any questions means on chat they will ask. Or maybe the chairman will permit them to ask and they can ask. It's a very interesting. And on voting, what happens now? Already the e-voting would have been completed. Up to one point, they will say e-voting. If somebody has not voted on e-voting, they'll be given the chance to go and vote now. And thereafter, the e-votes will be counted. So in this situation, now proxy is not needed at all. Proxy is not needed at all. All you have to do is ensure that members have logged in. If you find that sufficiently number of members have logged in, quorum is present and you can proceed. But as of now, the facility is not there. During pandemic, they permitted. One, it's too costly and many companies find it's not worth it. So they don't resort to it. But if it is held, it is as good as physical meeting. Absolutely. That way our law is becoming very advanced. Every member entered, I have already seen that. Penalty is there. Say issue of invitations to appoint as proxy. A person or one of a number of persons specified in the invitation members is a penal offense. That is why I told you, you cannot send invitations and all. You can't send invitations to the proxy and say, please allow, you can't send invitations to members saying, please appoint me as proxy, etc. That's why maximum you can phone up and talk to them. That's all. And then meet in person. No communication in writing. If you do that, it's an offense. You cannot solicit proxies. Rather, you cannot solicit members to appoint you as a proxy. It's an offense. Every officer of the company who issues the invitation shall be liable to a penalty of 50,000. Okay, person liable, penalty is 50,000 rupees. But an officer shall not be liable under this subsection by reason only, just because he has issued to a member at his request in writing a form of appointment or naming the proxy or of a list of persons willing to act as proxies. So if you, for example, you might have a list of proxies. Everybody's name should be there. And every member should be entitled to that list. So like that you can give. But that's all. You cannot say, please appoint Mr. Donkey as your proxy. That's it. You're gone. It's an offense. Now we are going to representation of president, etc. Please concentrate. First point, representation of president and governors. See, where the central government or any state government is a member of a company, the shares will be held in the name of the president of India or the governor. See, president will hold the shares, governor will hold the shares. In such cases, the president or governor, as the case may be, may appoint such person as he thinks fit to act as his representative at any meeting. Now I think, Mr. Vatsar, this question may become relevant. This guy appointed by the president or governor is a representative. Usually he'll be a very senior civil servant of undersecretary or secretary or deputy secretary, appropriate rank, who would be also sometimes on the board of the company or whatever. That person would be appointed as a proxy. representative. Such person will have the same rights and powers as the president, or as the case may be the governor, could exercise as a member of the company, including the right to vote by proxy or on postal ballot. So, what happens? Mr. C, a government servant, an IAS officer, senior ranking, is appointed by the governor of Maharashtra to represent, the meeting of a company, Cotton Growers Association of Maharashtra, Section 8 company, whatever. Okay. Governor is appointed. Or a normal company, but state government has invested in it. So the share capital here holds 60% of the whole share capital. So governor is appointing Mr. C to attend. Now Mr. C, he finds from his diary. So C's secretary says, sir, Cotton Growers Limited Association meeting is there, sir. You are appointed by Governor G. What are you going to do? Oh, you madam, no. Immediately he'll call a second line fellow. Some guy is there in the office. He'll go, hey, come here. You go. And he will then give him a proxy. That fellow will become a proxy. Whereas if Mr. C himself attends, it is as if the governor is attending. What is the basic point? If Mr. C is himself attending, then governor is attending, member in person, voting by show of hands allowed. But if the other gentleman, the office employee, maybe he is a very senior level officer of the government, okay, but he is attending, then such a person would become a proxy. He can only vote on poll. Okay, got it? Also, this Mr. C, there is a postal ballot that can be signed by C because he has been authorized by the governor, he can sign. Okay. Now, representation of corporations at meetings of companies. Corporation means body, corporate means foreign company, Indian company, society, corporate, the LLP, trade union, you name it, any body corporate, whether a company within the meaning of this act or not, may be a member or creditor or debenture holder of a company. In such cases, such body corporate may appoint such person as it thinks fit to act as its representative at any meeting of the company or at any meeting of any class of members of the company. This may be done by authorizing such person through a resolution of its directors or other governing body. Such person will have the same rights and powers as the company could exercise as a member, including the right to vote by proxy or on postal ballot. So now I think Mr. Parthasarathhi's question on representative is clear. Representative means guy appointed by governor or president, guy appointed by the body corporate. Usually, the body corporate will pass a resolution, board resolution. The board of directors of the company or foreign company or whatever will pass a resolution saying we hereby appoint him as our representative. Now that representative is as if the company is attending. Now he has the same rights and powers as the company, which means if he attends, voting by show of hands allowed. If he raises the hand, it's as if company is raising the hand. Okay, including the right to vote by proxy. He can vote, he can appoint a proxy. Anybody, and or he can sign a postal ballot. I hope these two provisions are clear. So, if you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, very good. Alok has seen an LIC balance sheet. Wow. Yeah, obviously, the President of India is owning shares in LIC. So, if at the meeting of LIC, obviously, President cannot attend here. She cannot come. No, Draupadi Murmu cannot come. So she will appoint. I mean, depends. See, LIC means Minister of Finance. So Minister of Finance, one senior officer will be designated. He will come. It may sometimes be part of the JD also. Job description also. He has to attend. Like that. Now, I am not aware, Manojji. I'm not aware of any president attending any meeting. Generally, they don't go. It's a very, very routine affair. Yeah. Why should the president go? See, when president comes now, a lot of protocols. It is not as if president, see, President of India protocol. That protocol is not worth it. So many protocols are there. You can't just like that ask the president to come. If she or he is coming, you have to take care of so much protocol. It's not easy. Any official, especially president. Protocol means you should have cleared the security clearance is needed, everything. So Don't even, hey, just getting President of India for meeting itself is a pain. For a company meeting and all, why? Get the representative and finish it. There's nobody, I've not heard of it. I'm not aware. Maybe I'll do some research and I'll tell you. It's a good question. A person can be the representative more than, okay, agreed, can be. Suppose two state governments are holding, or central government, yeah, can be of more than one member. Why not? Can be. Can be. There's no prohibition. To my knowledge, there's no prohibition. There's no prohibition. Coming back to why proxy cannot vote on show of hands, think about it. If a proxy is appointed for these four fellows, Achyut Menon, Anand Vasudevan, Keshav Guru, Narayan Unni Nair, and say he is also a member. Sushil Menon himself as member. Now voting by show of hands. How many hands can he raise? Yeah? Boss, only 2 hands, yeah. So Sushil Menon, one, Achyut Menon, done. Now, for Anand Vasudevan, Keshav Guru, Narayan Unni Nair, what he'll do? Let us say he lies down and lifts his leg also, still only 2, yeah. What about Narayan Unni Nair? So, physical impossibility, common sense. My guru used to say common sense. The Britishers who made this law had more common sense than us. So, they knew that physical impossibility is there. So, unless you appoint Ravan, even then only 20 hands, yeah. Okay, if you appoint Ravan, then 10 hands he can raise. But think about it. Okay. Even then only 20. Beyond that, what you'll do? So that is why it is like this. Okay. Fantastic. Moving on to, I'll have a small break at 7:45. And Absalam, you don't tell me whether to have break or not. I am going to have break at 7:45. Okay. Voting. Now finally we come to voting. It's a very exciting area. Okay. What you need to do is to understand it practically. Not dry theory. Company law need not be dry. It's a very exciting subject, provided you imagine the real life situations and you approach. That is why in the exam also, they're not asking you dry theory question. They're asking you situation. They're asking you with name, story. So you read the story, understand the law, apply the law, give the solution. This is the expertise that is demanded from you by the institute. And you should be prepared for it. That is why the questions in the study material are all practical questions. You will rarely see theory questions in our study material. Okay. Of course, the study material, when you're reading, please read all the questions at the end of the study material. All are important. The questions given at the end of the study material have been very beautifully and carefully prepared by a very, very excellent group of dedicated faculty. I salute them. They are taking extraordinary effort to do proper research, etc., and create those study materials and the questions. Please go through them. If you have any doubts, then if you tell me the question number, no, I cannot access the question at that time, but I will, or you can send it to, see, you can send the query to the Board of Studies. If you have a doubt, they will share it with me if they feel that I should give my view, and I will give my view also. And they will share it with you. That is a procedure for asking questions on the study material questions. So you can raise it. Welcome. Okay. So methods of voting. Voting by show of hands. And somehow this friend, my friend Dhyanesh Jingle has got my number. Yeah. I never gave my mobile number. Please, Dhyanesh, please don't share it with anybody. Okay. I have not given my number to anybody here in this class. I have not given, and you somehow got my number. I don't know how. Okay. Methods of voting. Voting by show of hands. Voting on poll. Voting through electronic means. Voting through postal ballot. Do you remember 4 methods of voting? He comes in person, show of hands. He comes in person or through proxy, poll. He comes online, electronic means. He takes the paper, writes it, puts it in the cover, seals it, and puts it in the post office box, post box, postal ballot. 4 methods of voting. Okay, sir? Thank you, Ms. Ilakya. So nice of you to do it. Chala. Now, voting by show of hands. Simple. All those in favor, raise your hands. See, I have been a chairman of many Rotary meetings, Masonic Lodge meetings and all. Whenever I chair a meeting, many people, in fact, many times, my Rotary Club, the president will tell, Srikanji, you come and conduct the meeting. Only for this meeting you come because we have 4 items of agenda. If you come, you will finish it in 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maximum 20 minutes. Whereas if I am sitting there, they will bulldoze me. You come and sit. So I'll go that once the gavel is taken. Now, the gavel is the symbol of the chairman. Once the gavel, it's like a hammer, the gavel. Once the gavel is held in the hand, it is a symbol of power. So as the chairman, I'll control the meeting. I'll say, that's it. No more sound. Talk. Sit down. Okay, now first resolution proposed by donkey, seconded by monkey. Gentlemen and ladies, you have heard the proposal duly proposed and selected. Now, any discussion? So any questions will be there, answered, blah, blah. Okay, I'll give them only one opportunity. You have spoken. Thank you. Sit down. You have spoken. That's it. Now, we have all heard you. Thank you, sir, for all this. But now poll. Now voting. So I'll say, so about 20 people in a Rotary meeting or in a Masonic lodge, maximum 30 people are there, all in front of each other, all known to each other. I'll say, all those in favor, raise your hand. So those in favor, raise. We count the number of hands. Those against, some more people, or nobody. Then if the number of votes, then I will count the number of votes now. So simple majority is what we need. Simple majority obtained, then carried. That's all. Mr. Secretary, please note it. Resolution was carried with so many votes for, so many votes against. Right, next item on agenda. At that speed, I will go. And within 25-30 minutes, the entire agenda will be over. Okay, why I'm giving this to you? To give you practical flavor. Sitting as a chairman of a meeting is not easy. You have to be, it's like speaker of the Lok Sabha or assembly. You are in control. You are in control. Remember, even if the president is there, he will be sitting, no problem. Means the president of the Rotary Club will be there. He will be sitting. The chairman controls the meeting. From beginning of the gavel knock to, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare that this meeting is over. That's all. I'll pass on the control and I'll push off. Till then, it is my job to control the meeting, get the resolutions. See, if a resolution is defeated, that is not my problem. As a chairman, I am not worried about the result. I am worried about the process. The process should be democratic. Nobody should tomorrow say that it was done in undemocratic manner. Democracy is very simple. Everybody gets the right to speak except the proxy. After everybody is heard, a vote is taken. Vote is counted fairly. Motion carried. Defeated, defeated. That is all. I hope I'm giving this to you to help you understand the dynamics of meetings. Okay. Anyway, so this is what I mean by show of hands. So at any general meeting, a resolution put to the meeting shall, unless a poll is demanded or the voting is carried out electronically, be decided on a show of hands. So initially, it is always show of hands. But if a poll is demanded, then a poll shall be taken. Or if you're having electronic voting, then not show of hands. Because everybody will be given an opportunity to go, click, vote, and come. Why show of hands? Okay. For example, Reliance has lakhs of shareholders. You cannot have show of hands. Polling also will take a lot of time. So they would have asked you to go for electronic voting. You go there, finish electronic voting, and come. Declaration of by chairman as to result of voting by show of hands to be final. This is the power of the chairman. Because visually I have counted how many in favor, how many against. I have reported it to the secretary who is keeping minutes of the meeting. That is it. It's final. Later on, you come out of the meeting and then have a couple of whiskeys and then come to me and say, Srikanth, you know how it was. Inside what happened, final. I was the chairman and it is over. Talk anything else, we'll talk. Not that. Okay. Sorry, I sound very arrogant, but that's how it is. When I declared it, you should have objected at that time. Sitting quietly there, now you come and talk to me, it's not going to happen. Okay. A declaration by the chairman of the meeting of the passing of a resolution or otherwise by show of hands and an entry to that effect in the minutes books. That's why I kept on repeating. I keep on telling, brother, Mr. Secretary, make a note. Mr. Secretary, make a note. So that it is entered in the minutes book. Shall be conclusive evidence of the fact of passing such a resolution. Tomorrow in a court, you cannot question it. You cannot say, you know what happened at that meeting, we can't do it like this, did like that. Sorry, minutes are very clear. 15 votes were for, 5 votes against. Resolution was defeated. No. 10 people raised the hand for both. That was not. Sorry, Baba. At that time, you should object. Not. Once it is, that is why minutes also become very powerful evidence. If a minutes books are properly maintained and signed by the chairman of the meeting, they are evidence in the court of law. Conclusive evidence. Once I submit the minutes book and it is verified and not objected to, thereafter I need not prove what happened at the meeting. The minutes become the record of the meeting proceedings. I don't have to come and give oral evidence and say, I was at the meeting, I stood up, 16 votes, power. Why? Everything is minutes. Whatever happened, it's in the minutes. And I have signed it. That's all. It's a conclusive evidence. Demand for poll. Very important. 109. If you can remember the section number, try. Otherwise, no need. No need for section number. Demand for poll. Demand for poll. So, think about it. Show of hands is going on. Member holding 60% of the share has appointed a proxy. Now the dynamics is changing. Forget my example of Rotary Club, Masonic Lodge and all. This is the commercial company, large company, under more than 200 shareholders, right? But controlling is only by 5 people. For this, assuming for the moment, 5 people are controlling 60% of the shares. 5 people are controlling 60% of the shares. 5 people, one family is controlling 60%. Remaining 40% held by lot of people. Say remaining 5 means 195 people are holding the meeting. Out of that 195, about 50 come for the meeting personally. Some proxies are also there, some 25 fellows. Together, member and proxy, they control only 40%. Not even that. Those who are attending, maybe they are controlling 35%. 60% family is there. They are not in Chennai. They are, let us say, in Mumbai. They appoint their auditor as proxy. Since 60% is there, auditor cannot represent all the 5. So, auditor plus 4 other people will come. Together, they will be controlling 20%. 25. Totally, if these 5 fellows stand up as proxies, they can vote 60%. You understood the dynamics? Now meeting starts, chairman is sitting, show of hands. Immediately, all these fellows now will raise the hand. Obviously, proxy cannot vote on show of hands. Immediately, when the chairman says, I will now put it to vote, all those in favor, before he even concludes it, one proxy will stand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. When he can demand? Before or on the declaration of result of the voting. Okay, that fellow was sleeping. Chalo, voting was taken. Maybe all those in favor, 5 fellows raise or 25 fellows raise the hand. Even then he can raise. Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, I demand a poll. Anytime before the declaration, he has to do it. Got it? Before or on the declaration. Let us say, Salo sir, 15 people for, none against, resolution passed. Immediately, sorry, Chairman, I want you to take a poll. Even then, but it should be done at least on the declaration of the result. You can't sit quiet in the meeting, go out and then say, I wanted poll and all. Poll has to be demanded either before or on the declaration of the result of the voting on any show of hands. How? The chairman may on his own motion order a poll. For example, in a really disturbed meeting where everybody is talking, running around, chairman may get irritated. Hey, I am giving show of hands. You fellows are going here, going there, raising your hand to scratch your armpit, putting it down. How can I count, man? I cannot do it. Let's have a poll. So chairman may on his own motion order a poll and shall do so on demand made in that behalf by the requisite number of members. So demand for poll, you need requisite number of members. You remember requisition? Same. Similar. Company having share capital. Members present in person or by proxy were allowed and having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power or holding shares on which an aggregate sum of not less than 5 lakh rupees or such higher amount as may be prescribed has been paid up. So either having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power or holding shares on which an aggregate sum of not less than 5 lakh or higher amount has not been prescribed, has been paid up. Got it? In my example, the proxies, members attending through proxy are holding not how much? More than 1/10. 60% total voting power they are holding. Got it? So these 5 proxies can easily demand a poll because they are proxies of members holding not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. Right? That is why the proxy is appointed, because the member cannot come in person. He wants to protect his interest and vote against the resolution. That is why he is sending the proxy. In fact, the minute the chairman sees that proxies have come and he will immediately know that is it, this resolution is going to be passed today or it will be defeated. Why? Because proxy, that's all. He has to simply come and sit down, wait for the show of hands, even before on declaration of result or before he can stand up and say, sorry, Mr. Chairman, please have a poll. That's all. On a poll, what will happen? Things will be totally changed. The solution will be defeated because proxies will vote against. And when they vote 60% of votes, that is out of the total shares, 60% shares they will be having. Remaining 40 only these fellows are going to have. No way. If these guys vote against, gone. Got it? But proxies trying to push a resolution may find it a little difficult. Suppose 30% of them are there. Okay? Then, if they are trying to push it, it's going to be very difficult. Because sometimes they may not be able to pass a special resolution. But defeating, coolly they can come defeat and run away. Nobody can do anything about it. Provided you hold 60%. Any member or members present in person or by proxy were allowed and having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. Okay. So in the case of other companies not having share capital, okay, a member present in person not having not less than 1/10 of the total voting power. See here, total voting power in the case of company not having share capital will be one man, one vote. So number of members, 100 members, then 1/10 of the total voting power will be 10. Whether present in person or by proxy, 10 members present in person or by proxy were allowed can demand a poll. So member in person can demand a poll. Proxy can also demand a poll. Okay. If you have any doubts, I will take it up quickly and then we can push on. I don't see any doubts. Almost the same. I don't want to comment about it. You don't try to combine. You do a comparative study. That makes a little sense. In those days, I used to do that. I will take all these requisite number of members and put them on a Excel sheet. And then I keep on looking at them. So that, I'll be comparing and contrasting so that my mind will register it and remember it. That way I used to do. But I don't make assumptions and presumptions. Passing of resolutions deemed to declaration made. English not clear. Write in good English, I will answer. When should a poll be taken? Now comes the point. The proxy has demanded a poll. Now the poll should be taken. Taking a poll is not easy. Why? Because polling sheets have to be prepared. Okay, they are printed sheets with the name of the member, registered folio number, number of shares. Okay, he can write it or you can print it and keep it ready. Many companies, they will have polling sheets ready. Okay, so that they may take a poll. But when should a poll be taken? Either immediately or a meeting can be adjourned for taking a poll. Please understand, a meeting may be adjourned for taking a poll. But two matters. Please remember and listen to me. Don't be in a hurry to think of some question to ask. Just listen to me. A poll demanded for adjournment of the meeting or appointment of chairman of the meeting shall be taken forthwith. I'll give an example. First, the chairman, somebody proposes, donkey stands up and says, Mr. Chairman, I propose that we adjourn the meeting. Chairman says, okay. Monkey stands up, Mr. Chairman, I second the proposal. Wonderful. Chairman says, you have heard the proposal for adjournment. All those in favor, immediately donkey and monkey raise and two mother. Immediately a proxy can stand up and say, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. On what? Whether there should be adjournment or not. Immediately chairman says, okay, we will adjourn the meeting for taking the poll. Hello, the whole question was whether there should be an adjournment or not. If you adjourn, then that means you are supporting donkey and monkey. No, for adjournment of whether to adjourn or not, a poll for adjournment of the meeting should be taken forthwith, means immediately. Forthwith means immediately. Slight difference with immediately and forthwith is immediately means next second. Forthwith means as soon as possible, but within say the next 15-20 minutes, you have to take it. Half an hour maximum because you need time to prepare now. But without taking the poll, the meeting will not come to an end. It should be taken and then only they'll go. Right. Similarly, appointment of chairman. See, donkey says, I propose that Mr. Lion become the chairman of this meeting. Immediately, monkey stands up. Yes, yes, I also second the motion. All those in favor. Some animals raise the hand. One or two fellows are sitting proxies. They cannot vote on show of hands. Then when the chairman says, I hereby declare that I have been elected as chairman, declares the result. Immediately, proxy stands up. Zebra stands up and says, Mr. Chairman, I demand a poll. Immediately, Lion looks at him. Okay, we will adjourn. That means what? He is chairman. Question is whether he should be chairman or not. Without taking a poll, he is adjourning. That means he is getting life for one more meeting. So in that meeting, by then he might kill Zebra and then nobody will come. Then he will continue as chairman of the meeting. So no, for election of chairman and for adjournment, polls, if it is demanded, it shall be taken forthwith. Other than this two, any other matter, other than these two, shall be taken at such time, not being later than 48 hours from the time when the demand was made. So maximum 48 hours as the chairman of the meeting. So within 48 hours, you have to do it. Demand for poll may be withdrawn at any time by the persons who made the demand, right? In which case, you can go back to show of hands and proceed with the proceedings, right? Now we come to chairman. We already spoke a lot about chairman. Chairman controls the meeting. Chairman of the meeting is the person who manages and controls the meeting. He has complete authority on deciding on matters of decorum till the meeting is concluded. So I said, I am sitting in the chairman's seat, no noise, absolute silence. Everybody, if one person is talking, everybody listens. No sideboards. And after he speaks, another person. After he speaks, another person. Everybody is heard. Whatever they say is also, I will summarize it. I will summarize. I will say, donkey said like this, monkey said like this, so-and-so said like this, please note it. That's it. No arguments. This is not some court of law where you are arguing and winning. You had your say, he had his say. Everybody listened. Now they will decide whether to vote in favor or not. You will know the result once the poll is taken or show of hands is done. You cannot, it's not some court where you are trying to convince the jury or judge. I am not the judge. The chairman is not the judge. Please understand, the role of the chairman is merely to ensure that the process of conducting the meeting is correctly complied with. My job over. Even if the motion is defeated, I don't care. If it is passed, I don't care. But the process should be correctly followed. Democratic process should be correctly followed. That's all. It is not a secret voting. The registered folio number will be known. Why should it be secret voting? It is not a secret voting. But generally, they will not reveal it. The company will not reveal it. And a member also cannot demand to know and as a matter of right, get the information. But it's not a secret. The number's name will be, who voted will be known, how many shares, registered folio number, everything will be known. Otherwise, what is the point here? And that's it. Yeah, passing of resolution means a declaration that the resolution has been, see, passing means favorable. Defeated means not favorable. Either way, the declaration will be done to the channel. Got it? When the resolution, when number of votes cast in favor is more, the resolution is passed. If the number of votes cast in favor is less than the number of votes cast against, motion is defeated. Resolution is not passed. Both will be declared by the channel. So don't confuse with declaration. Declaration is just announcement. Whether it is passed or defeated, I will announce it. Chalo. Chairman has prima facie authority to decide all questions which arise at a meeting and which require decision at the time. In order to perform his duty correctly, he must be strictly impartial. That's why I've been telling from the beginning, whether it is passing, I may be a member, no problem. I will vote for or against. That is my decision. But I am not here to influence people. In fact, as a member, even then as a chairman, I will not talk because I have to be impartial. I have to give everybody a chance to talk. Then I have to decide. That's all. I mean, I have to call for a vote, count the votes, announce the result, go. That is my job. See, in fact, once this is understood now, you can chair meetings very beautifully. It is only when the chairman doesn't understand his role and becomes a judge or some sort of thing. There are cases I've had where sometimes the chairman will be sitting, one member will stand up, start shouting at the chairman and all. No way it can happen when I'm there. No way. I have the right to expel that fellow. I have the prima facie authority to decide whether this, if he's hooliganic behavior, I will say, I will evict him. I can take physical assistance. to personally manhandle and take him out of the meeting. I can say, my dear friend, control yourself. Kindly calm yourself and sit down. Why should I sit down like that? Sorry, please leave the meeting. Come when you're in a better mood to talk. Like that. I mean, it's a sort of a very powerful position, but if used correctly, great. If misused, the meeting itself will be invalidated. Please note, if a chairman exercises his power autocratically, the proceedings can itself be invalidated. Election of chairman to be initially by show of hands. You know that. Unless the articles of the company otherwise provide, the members personally present at the meeting shall elect one among themselves to be the chairman by show of hands. If a poll is demanded, it shall be taken forthwith for election of chairman. Chairman elected on show of hands shall continue to be the chairman of the meeting unless and until some other person elected as chairman as a result of the poll. And such other person shall be chairman for the rest of the meeting. I think that is clear. Chairman has something called a casting vote. Please understand. The casting vote is an additional vote. See, let us say that chairman is a member. Chairman is a member. As a member, he has one vote. As a member, he has one vote. Now, he votes. Or as a member, he has so many shares, he votes. When the votes are counted, exactly equal, for equal to against. For example, this will be easily understood if it is show of hands. Because when it is shares, now, it is very difficult for the number of shares to fall exactly equal. Unless, two groups are there. Two groups are there. Each group is holding 50%, 50%. Each group is represented by one person there. See, ABC Limited, DEF Limited, joint venture. 50% ABC, 50% DEF. Meeting is held, right? Chairman is there. I told you, one person will be nominated, another fellow is there. Chairman of the meeting. Exactly 50-50, tie. This fellow also 50, that fellow also 50. So, however they vote, tie. Now, the chairman has one more vote, an additional vote, available to the chairman, which he will use only when there is a tie. That is when the number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast against. Then the chairman may use his casting vote to ensure that the resolution is passed. Friends, think about it. Suppose the number of votes cast in favor is exactly equal to the number of votes cast against. Maybe in a football match, you can say tie. As far as the meeting is concerned, the motion is defeated. Yeah, unless it is number of votes cast in favor exceeds, the motion is defeated. Got it? So, if I am the chairman and I don't want the resolution to be passed, I don't have to exercise my casting vote. Yeah, I'll simply keep quiet because the voting, the resolution will be defeated. But suppose I want that resolution to be passed, then I can exercise my casting vote. Okay, incidentally, in Rotary meetings and in other association meetings, chairman does not have a casting vote. Only in company law, chairman has a casting vote. Please understand. This casting vote business is there only in Robert's rules. And Westminster it is there, but very rare situations like Companies Act and all. Okay? If the chairman does not use his casting vote, or there is no provision in the articles for a casting vote, an ordinary resolution on which there is a tie is deemed to be dropped. Means it is not passed. Okay, if you don't want to use the word defeated, don't use. You use the word dropped. But it's not tie. It's not that neither has won. It means the resolution has not been passed. Okay, that's what it is. Deemed to be dropped. You can again take it up in the next meeting, or you can have another meeting. But in this meeting, gone. If you want to again take it up, you have to have another meeting, propose the agenda, again come and stand. Okay. Okay. Now am I in camera? I don't know, because maybe while I was excitedly waving my hands, I pushed the laptop a little. Anyway, let me not only go off camera, let me also stop here before we go to demand for poll. 109 again. You know something? I interrupted 109 to talk about chairman. Did you notice that? Because I mentioned chairman here, I talked about chairman. Now I am going to go back to demand for poll. Okay. Sir, Abdul, did you listen to me when I said, if against means, why I should have a casting vote? Casting vote will be there only when equal to. Against means what? The number of votes cast against is more than the number of votes cast in favor, more than. So where is the question of casting vote there? Your problem is, Abdul, see, casting vote is there only when the number of shares passed in favor is equal. If against means what? It's not equal, boss. Against is more, then why should I bother? It is repeated. If it is exactly equal, then I can exercise my casting vote and pass the resolution. Suppose I don't do anything and they're equal, the resolution is deemed to be dropped. Okay. Have you understood the point? Are you able to understand what I'm teaching? Before you ask the question, check out if you have understood the topic. Chalo, now we are at exactly 7:50. So 10 minutes ka break. Thereafter, we will continue with our discussion. Sir, break, sir. Break. Welcome back from a very short break. The idea was to just give you a small time to go for a biology break, maybe have a cup of tea, or just bring the cup of tea and sit in front of the system, which is what I'm doing. And okay, here is a question. Okay. Mr. Patsat is asking a question like this. Chairman to cast vote, resolution is passed. Yeah, he will cast only if he wants to pass the resolution. See, can you understand? Number of votes cast in favor is equal to the number of votes cast against. Equal. Now, if I don't want the resolution to be passed, as a chairman, I'll simply keep quiet. Yeah, the resolution is dropped. If you want to pass, then I will cast my casting vote. I've already casted my normal vote, now equal. Now I will cast my casting vote and pass the resolution. This is, I hope I'm clear. This is a logic, na? Otherwise, why will I do it? Okay, here is a question. Suppose for a special resolution, where the number of votes cast in favor, is exactly equal to the number of votes, 3 times the number of votes cast against. For a special resolution, they are attempting to pass a special resolution. The number of votes cast in favor is exactly equal to the number of votes cast against. Got it? Should the chairman exercise his casting vote or not? Should the chairman exercise his casting vote or not? Special resolution, the number of votes cast in favor is exactly equal to 3 times the number of votes cast against. Should the chairman exercise his casting vote? This is the question. I would love answers, especially from Abdul, because he loves to ask questions. Let him also answer question now. I want an answer to this question with reasoning. Not simply one word, no, yes, like that. Correct. Why? Because the rule exactly, Abdul, beautifully said. Thank you for the correct answer. No, the special resolution is passed. Correctly said. Why? Because if it is exactly equal, means passed. 3 times the number of votes cast against. If it is more than 3 times, good. Even if it is exactly 3 times, the special resolution is passed. Beautiful. Beautiful. So happy. Thank you, Abdul. And again, you go back to your dropping, sir. Huh? When you're angry, you will drop the sir. Huh? You will make a very great chartered accountant, sir. Highly brilliant, knowledgeable, but behaviorally going to irritate people. Good. Where a poll is to be taken, the chairman of the meeting shall appoint such number of persons as he deems necessary to scrutinize the poll process and votes given on the poll and to report thereon to him in the manner. So chairman cannot do it himself. Therefore, he will appoint people to scrutinize the poll. Usually the scrutineer, these people are called scrutineers. Scrutineers will be company secretaries. Usually practicing company secretary, the fellow will be appointed as a scrutineer. He will bring his team of people. They will prepare polling sheets and all and come. They will prepare the polling booth. Then fellow will go vote. They will collect it, count it. Scrutineer is very responsible because finally the scrutineer will announce the result to the chairman. Then the chairman, they tell the result to the chairman will announce it. Subject to the provisions of this section, the chairman shall have the power to regulate the manner in which the poll shall be taken. The chairman shall ensure that the scrutineers are provided to the register of members, specimen signatures, attendance register, register of proxies and all. Then the scrutineers will verify and they will go on and everything will be done. The scrutineers shall arrange for polling papers and distribute them to all the members. And in case of joint shareholders, the polling paper shall be given to the first named holder, or in his absence, the joint holder attending the meeting as appearing in the chronological order. So, because there are 3 people, there are going to be 3 polling papers. Only one, because they are holding shares together. So, single polling sheet only. The first mentioned, or else the next, if that fellow is also not there, third. Okay. Polling paper shall be in the form number MGT 12. It's a very simple, boss. They will mention the result. It will have 3 columns. serial number, agenda number 1. The resolution will be fully given. Then for, against will be given. In e-voting also, same format will be used, except that instead of signing, ticking and signing, you will go and click. You will enter using your user ID password. Then you will go and click for, against, that's all. Once you complete it, submit. Khatam ho gaya. I am a member of many clubs and all where we have Section 8 companies, old Section 25 companies, where they have polling. They will call for them. They will call for thing, and I will just e-voting. I'll just go online, check over, submit, come. That's all. Matter over. Scrutinizers shall keep a record of the polling papers. They shall lock and seal an empty polling box in the presence of the members. They'll lock and seal. Then once the polling is over, it will be, the seal will be broken, and in the presence of witness, it will be opened and counted. Are you able to understand? It's a voting process. There's nothing great. And rarely you will be asked a question on this. Don't waste your time mugging this up. They won't ask you this. Just for information. In case of ambiguity, the scrutinizer shall decide in consultation with chairman. Chairman decision final. The scrutinizer shall ensure that if a member who has appointed a proxy has voted in person, the proxy's vote shall be disregarded. All this is scrutinizer's job, yeah. That is why company secretary will be appointed. That fellow will take care. If anything goes wrong, he will be punishable. We will see that. The scrutinizer will count the votes cast on poll and prepare a report addressed to the chairman. Okay, where the voting is conducted by electronic means, the company shall provide all the necessary support, technical or otherwise, to the scrutinizers. Then the scrutinizer's report shall state total votes cast, valid votes, votes in favor, against, passed or not. And they will also give invalid polling papers and votes comprised therein. This is the scrutinizer's report. This will be submitted to the chairman, who shall countersign the same. Then the chairman will declare the results of the poll. It may be either by him or a person rather is in writing. The scrutinizers appointed for the poll shall submit a report to the chairman in form MGT 13. Report shall be signed by the scrutinizer or more than one, all. And it shall be submitted by them to the chairman within 7 days, because they need time now. Then the results of the poll shall be deemed to be the decision of the meeting on the resolution. Thereafter, you cannot question blah, blah, blah. Once the scrutinizer sign, chairman sign, announced, over. Duties of scrutinizers, conduct, ethical code of conduct is to ensure proper conduct of the polling process, to maintain proper records of the poll, to submit a report to the chairman, all that, to ensure compliance. Yeah, Piyush, you are absolutely correct. I'm a member of the Presidency Club in Chennai. So happens, yeah. So happens. I don't know how you got it. No, you're from Chennai, I don't know. Because I don't know any Chaurasia. Okay, so yeah, so happens I'm a member of the Presidency Club in Chennai. A member in the prescribed class of companies may exercise his right to vote by electronic means. Now we are going to electronic vote. Boss, there is no big difference between polling and e-voting. Hello. In polling, physical sheet is given, heart may tick, and then signature. In e-voting, no signing, ticking, blah, blah. Click, 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 over. Okay, so once you understand the technological point, everything else is same. So e-voting is also allowed. Every company which has listed its shares on a recognized stock exchange can adopt e-voting. Company having not less than 1,000 members, shall provide to its members facility to exercise the right to vote on resolutions proposed to be considered at a general meeting by electronic means. Listed company, irrespective of number of members, can adopt for e-voting. Company, shall go for e-voting. A company having not less than 1,000 members shall provide the facility. So listed company, compulsory. Company not having less than 1,000 members, compulsory. Some points you should understand. Cut-off date. A date not earlier than 7 days before the date of the meeting for eligibility to vote by electronic means. Usually what will happen, the cut-off date will be announced. So before the cut-off date, we have to go and electronically vote. Suppose you miss that chance. Your next chance will come at the time of meeting. When the meeting is going on, for half an hour before the meeting, e-voting will be open. At that time, again, you can go online and vote. That's all. E-voting system means a secured system-based process of display of electronic ballots, records of votes, etc., etc. It's not a big thing, huh? Remote e-voting means casting votes by a member using electronic voting system. Voting by electronic means remote e-voting and voting. I mean, these are all typical definitions. A member may exercise his right through voting by electronic means on resolutions, and the company shall pass such resolutions in accordance with the provisions of this rule. Okay. So we have already seen there is a separate set of rules are there. The notice of meeting shall be sent to all the directors, members, auditors, etc. Notice to be hosted on website, and you will have to give the particulars that the voting is there, how it should be done, etc. And it should be published. The company shall cause a publication by way of an advertisement to be published immediately on completion of dispatch of notices, at least 21 days before the date of general meeting, that e-voting is there. Okay, and give it. So clearly you should state in the advertisement that the business may be transacted through voting by electronic means, date and commencement of remote e-voting, date and time of end of remote e-voting. That is cutoff date. The cutoff date should be mentioned. The manner in which persons who have acquired shares and become members of the company after the dispatch of notice may obtain the login ID and password. Usually, the login ID and password will be part of your DPID password. If your DPID is their password, that's enough. Or they might give you a special login ID and password through an email specifically sent to your registered email address, which is registered with the DP, Depository Participant, for listed companies. Also, website address of the company or the agency where notice of meeting is displayed. So usually you go, you click on the link, you go to the e-voting URL, and there you vote, then submit. Thank you for voting. Your vote is registered by. That's all over. Very simple, the electronic. So the facility for remote meeting shall remain open not less than 3 days and shall close at 5 p.m. on the date preceding the date of general meeting. Minimum 3 days. During the period when facility for remote voting is provided, the members of the company holding shares either in physical form or demat form may opt for remote voting. Cutoff date is those members who see the date on which general meeting for determining the eligibility to vote. Meaning, if you are not a shareholder on that date, you cannot apply for login ID. Right? That is cutoff date. Once you are member on the cutoff date, you are entitled to do e-voting. Right? Then once the period is over, the facility will be blocked. So later on, if you go and access, it will simply say, sorry, this facility is blocked. Again, there will be a scrutinizer, chartered accountant, cost accountant, company secretary, advocate, usually company secretary only, or any other person who is not in employment company and is a person of repute, who in the opinion of the board can scrutinize. Believe me, better to go for company secretary. I'm 100% telling you, these guys know it in and out. They are experts there. Not that, see, I can always go and do some tamasha and come. But all said and done, that is the fellow to call. He is a specialist in that area. I give that to him. Procedurally, nobody can beat company secretary. For nitpicking, for going for according to this section, to this the form that has been made. Ideal fellow is company secretary. Because however much we try, we cannot be so procedure oriented like they are. Those guys know. They invented the forms. They invented the rules. Anything they will say, sir, that rule is there, this rule is there, this is there, that is there. Finally, I will ask, can I do this or not? You tell me that, Mr. Company Secretary. No, then I will go and refer to that. Then I will come out with an opinion. No, in this case, it can be done. Okay, that is because we are an expert in company law. But procedurally, they are experts. Pure procedure, give it to him, he will take care. Don't go and play with him. Better go there. Yeah. Polling and e-voting, same now. Polling is physical. At the meeting, physical. E-voting is remote. That's all. It's a simple concept. Now. Wrap your minds around that simple concept, everything will be clear. Other than that, everything is the same. Scrutinizer will be there. Again, he will count. Obviously, he won't come for the meeting because everything is e-voting. Technologically, he will get download on a database. He should ensure that the Excel dump that he's getting is coming directly from the website. Maybe he can be that, but again, it's a security issue. Or best thing is, it should be dumped in a location which is accessible only by the scrutinizer. That's what they say. Now, whenever scrutineers are there for remote e-voting, the company should give all support. Where the voting is conducted by electronic means, under the provisions of section 108, the company shall provide all the necessary support, technical and otherwise. Are you able to understand? So you should give them all the facilities, password, code, access, everything should be given. Then he will go download the dump, check it out. Thereafter, see, once you're going for e-voting, now the scrutinizer's job is further reduced because most of it is automated. You just have to, counting will be done by the system itself. You get the result. Just ensure, verify it and be happy that, and then give it to the chairman, provide the report. That's all. For the purpose of ensuring that the members who cast their vote through remote e-voting do not vote again, scrutiny shall access after the closure period for remote e-voting and before the start of the general meeting, details relating to members. Remember, a member who has not voted in the e-voting can always come to the meeting and vote. In many cases, they open the e-voting portal again for about half an hour before the meeting. Very half an hour window they give. You can vote. Scrutiny should maintain a register, usually in electronic form. Electronically, he'll record, and that's it. It will become, that register will be in the safe custody of the scrutinizer until the chairman approves and announces it. Thereafter, it will be handed over to the company. The result will be declared along with the report of the scrutinizer on the website, so anybody can go and find out. Subject to the receipt of requisite number of votes, the resolution shall be deemed to be passed on the date of the relevant general meeting. A resolution proposed to be considered through voting by electronic means shall not be withdrawn because so many people have voted now already. So you cannot withdraw it at the meeting. Okay. So we have seen polling, e-voting. Now we are going to postal ballot. See, today in the context of e-voting, postal ballot is meaningless. I rarely see postal ballots nowadays. In those days, in the early stages, in the 99 amendment, they introduced postal ballot. I think 109A or something of the old law. They introduced postal ballot. I forget the section number, honestly. At that time, it was a big achievement for the ministry and for the companies editors and all. They were jumping up and down, postal ballot, like that. Right, chalo, postal ballot. So what will happen is, the notice calling the general meeting, they will send the polling sheet. You understand? Instead of this fellow going to the meeting and voting, they will send the resolutions to him with the notice, along with the explanatory statement, blah, blah, blah. Then finally, the polling sheet also will be sent along with self-addressed stamped envelope. 30 days time will be given to this donkey to fill up, sign, and hold it, put it in the cover, paste it, and stick it and send it to the company by post. That is all. Basically, system is the same. Understand? Methodology is simple. It's changing. Remote e-voting by clicking. Ballot, attend the meeting and heart name. Postal ballot, sitting at home, heart. That is all. Otherwise, it's all the same. Everywhere there will be a scrutinizer, everything will be there. Okay. But in postal ballot, little confusion is there. What is that? Which items can be done by postal ballot, which only by physical meeting like that. So, a company shall, in respect of such items of business as the central government may, by notification, declare to be transacted only by means of postal ballot, may in respect of any item of business other than ordinary business and any business in respect of which directors or auditors have a right to be heard at any meeting, transact such means by business by means of postal ballot. So central government by notification may declare these matters can be done only by postal ballot. In those cases, those matters compulsory. Any other matter, if you want to do also, you can do. Do you notice the two words here? Shall. In respect of such items as central government may by notification declare. There is no option. Once central government says only by postal ballot, you have to do it only by postal ballot. But any other matter which is not compulsory, you may want to do it by postal ballot, you can do. Other than ordinary business. So the 4 items of ordinary business cannot be done by postal ballot. Are you able to understand? Very tricky point. The 4 items of ordinary, what are the 4 items of ordinary business? Adopting the financial statement, appointing director in the place of those retiring, appointing or reappointing the auditors and fixing their remuneration, declaration of a dividend. These 4 matters, if done at an AGM, are called ordinary business. Any other matter at any other meeting or any other matter at an AGM is a special business. Any matter at any other meeting or any other matter at an AGM is a special business. So ordinary business, these 4 matters cannot be done by postal ballot. Say these 4 matters cannot be done by postal ballot, or any matter where the auditors have a right to be heard or directors have a right to be heard. For example, removal of director. Later on, you'll see. Removal of director, he has the right to be heard. Removal of auditor, he has the right to be heard. Sorry, no postal ballot. Call a meeting, come, let him speak, then only you can do it. Got it? Or even have virtual e-voting. But you have to have a meeting where he can come and speak. Correct? So, compulsory items declared by central government shall. Any other matter other than ordinary business or those matters where direct or the auditors are to be heard, the company it has an option, it can do so. So in those cases, the company shall or may, as the case may be, transact such business by means of postal ballot in such manner as may be prescribed. Instead of transacting such business at a general meeting. So instead of calling a general meeting, wasting time. See, when this provision was introduced, the purpose was very simple. Companies were complaining to the central government, sir, one resolution I have to pass. Simple resolution, maybe a 181C. I need to increase my limit pre-up. But I want to borrow in excess of paid up capital and free reserves. Simple matter. If I can have it by postal ballot, please help me. So they introduced postal ballot in the old law itself. That is why it was seen as some sort of a great Ministry of Corporate Affairs has been so brilliant. They have done this like that. The CS Institute was celebrating these fellows and putting garland on them for doing their job. For doing their job, they will put garland. Only in India, for doing the job, you have to pay a bribe. For doing the job, you will be given a garland. Huh? So, any item of business required to be transacted by means of postal ballot under clause A may be transacted at a general meeting by a company which is required to provide the facility to members to vote by electronic means. So, if it is compulsory postal ballot, you can still transact it at a general meeting because you're going to provide them e-voting facility. Now, beyond that, what do they want? Hey, which is better, e-voting or postal ballot? Which is asana? E-voting, see, I simply go log on and do it. Am I correct or not? Right? Many people now above 40, okay, 45 like that, they say, Mr. Srikanth, I'm not very comfortable with computers. All this email, all this, what is that? Not email, all this website, gift site, I'm not Google and all, I'm not familiar, like that they will say. The same fellow in his mobile, he'll be accessing everything. On mobile, he is able to do it, but in laptop, he's not able to do. Not 40, maybe I'm doing a little injustice to my 40 pluses, 60 plus. 60 plus people, they will say, I can't understand all these computers, send it by post and all, they will say. Whereas on mobile, they'll be doing everything. So, same mobile, same Google, yeah. How is it different on laptop? Simply, they'll say, I'm not comfortable with computers, but I'm very comfortable with mobile phone. Slowly, computer will go away. Only mobile will be there. Mobile telephone will come. Instead, this device will no longer be it will be a box, which will be with you, which will be your access to the world, including computing. Anyway, that's good. So another 5 years down the line, you will not understand what I'm saying now. Okay. If your resolution is assented to by the requisite majority by postal ballot, it shall be deemed to have been duly passed. Central government may declare items of business, that is the central power of central government, which can be transacted only by postal ballot. See, the idea of postal ballot was to give inclusivity to the shareholders, because everybody cannot attend the meeting physically, but they want to exercise the vote against or for postal ballot. But the beauty is, postal ballot only created junk in my inbox, in my house, because they will all send this postal ballot thing and I will get it with self-addressed stamped envelope. Simply, I'll keep it there. After 1 year, I will not vote and all. What botheration? See, for example, Reliance Industries, well, has given me bonus share every year, he's giving me dividend. Pretty happy with him. Whatever, Mukesh ji, whatever you want to do, you do. That is my point. Okay, simply ignore it, throw it in the dust, because whatever Mukesh does is for me only. I'm going to get the benefit. I trust Mukesh Ambani. Why should I bother? As an ordinary shareholder holding some 1,600 shares, what is my control? Yeah, I'm happy. I'm getting a bonus share, dividend. Later on, you demerge, I'll get some more shares. Happy. Okay. If it goes down 52-week low, what is my problem? Because my share price is what? Nothing. 300 rupees I bought long ago. If it goes to 3,000, happy. What is there? So I don't care where Reliance destroyed. Are you able to understand? So in those cases, it was a waste of time, but still, it gave some inclusivity to the shareholders that you could vote without going to the meeting. You could exercise your vote by using the postal ballot. Only those assents and dissents are to be considered which have been sent by the members within 30 days. That 30 days is very important. So, what is the procedure? Company is required to decides to pass any resolution by way of postal ballot. It will send notice plus draft resolution. The notice shall be sent either by registered post or speed post through electronic means to the registered email ID or through courier service. Then the member should send their assent or dissent within 30 days. In fact, they used to send a self-addressed stamped envelope also. An advertisement should also be published that postal ballot is there and that ballot papers have been dispatched. That advertisement should mention that a statement to the effect that the business is to be transacted with postal ballot, which includes voting by electronic means. Date of completion of dispatch, date of commencement, date of end. See, all listed companies have stopped postal ballot. They go for e-voting. 1,000 and above companies also, they prefer e-voting only. So today, postal ballot is slightly out of fashion. So you need not really bother about it. Don't break your little head over this. Okay. So long as they've understood balloting, what is that? The poll, everything is same. The manner is only changing. Instead of giving a polling sheet to him in the hand at the meeting, we are sending it by post in postal ballot. We're getting it back. We are giving him a remote access. On the portal, in the URL, we are displaying the screen where he goes and clicks. So, okay. Once you understand that it's only the manner is changing, everything else is the same. Again, scrutinizer will become, everything will be there. Same scrutinizer will submit it. Same. I'm not trying to push that slide. I'm saying it's same. If you keep on reading it 3 times, you won't find something new. Okay, same. So this is smart reading now. Chalo, skip it. Okay. See, everything is same. If you want to do a comparative study, if you have a lot of free time, which I didn't have when I was preparing for CA Institute, once I saw similarity, I'll simply not study. I will go for what is what. That's all. Okay. Now, the following items of business shall be transacted only by means of voting through postal ballot. What are they? Alteration of object clause of the memorandum. Okay. Alteration of articles of association. Right. In relation to insertion or removal of provisions. Right. Change in place of registered office outside the local limits of any city, town, or village. Right. Change in objects. All this you have seen. These sections you have seen when you studied incorporation. Change in place of registered office outside the local limits, CTV. Change in objects of the company which has raised money through public and still has unutilized amount. You want to change the objects. You remember special resolution, dissenting shareholder. Yaad hai na? Otherwise, you go and revise 13.8. Issue of shares with differential rights as to voting or dividend or otherwise. Okay? You remember issue of shares with differential voting rights, all that we saw. Variation in rights, buyback. These are all out of your syllabus. Election of director under section 151 out of your syllabus. 180, 1A out of your syllabus. Giving loan or extending guarantee 186 out of your syllabus. Okay. The last 3 items are HIJ out of your syllabus. Okay. Provided that, yeah, e-voting is extremely easy, Alok. I have done it once or twice. Again, only for somebody rightly said Presidency Club and other clubs where I remember. Companies are not even bother telling you. Not even bother. I'm happy. My companies are selected based on management and performance and valuation. I'm happy. If they are even capable of being mismanaged, I would not have become a shareholder in the first place. I go by so totally different yardsticks. So never I will do. These are all uses of postal ballot. Very good. I'm so happy, Alok, that you have. I know. See, this is another method. When I was preparing, when I see a cross-reference of a section, immediately I will ask my mind to bring it and give it to me. So today I was reading a book by Swami Chinmayananda where he says, we are under the mercy of the body, mind, and intellect. Our body controls us. It says eat. It says do this, do that. Mind controls us. It says don't listen to Srikanth, nonsense he's talking, do something else. Or, oh, how boring it is. The intellect says, I am so knowledgeable in company law. I am studying 27 hours every day. What is this Srikanth? Why is he talking like this? That is intellect. I want to tell Srikanth, I am studying 27 hours a day, sir. I'm writing down everything. Intellect. They are controlling us, whereas we should control them. We should control the mind. We should control the body. We should control the intellect and say, ego, stop. You are an ordinary person. Be humble. Mind, you should control and say, concentrate. Listen to what Srikanth is saying. He is a teacher and he's teaching me. Don't wander. Come and listen. And remember what are you are learning. And bring it back to me in the exam hall whenever I need it. It's a monkey. Train that monkey. Make it work for you. This is the secret of CA exam success. Make the mind work for you. Like this. If you do like this, the monkey mind should come and do its job and go back and silently stand at the corner. That should not come and disturb you. You should command it. Body alone controls a little more. The power of the body is tremendous. Huh? But even the body needs to be controlled. Anyway, sorry for this unnecessary advice. So this is, but one thing even I agree, postal ballot is boring, but no problem. We have done it and we have reached our end. I hope you had a good session and I hope you learned much more, little more, shall we say, on management administration. I'm having your questions I've answered, I hope. Cyrus Mistry was removed from Tata Sons board by passing a special or ordinary extraordinary general meeting. No. See, for removing a director, special resolution at extraordinary general meeting. There's a special provision for that. There is a special provision for that under the when you come to final, I will myself or somebody will teach you. Hopefully you will prefer that. Now it's too early. Don't worry about that. That will come in final syllabus. A removal of director. It's a very long-winded procedure. Man, that cannot be done by postal ballot. Why that cannot be done by postal ballot? Why removal of Cyrus Mistry cannot be done by postal ballot? It is a matter in which the director has the right to be heard. So that you cannot do it by postal ballot. Only regular meeting you have to do. E-voting is possible. But you have to have a meeting. The director is allowed to come and talk, make his representation. Got it? A4 papers on wall in good faith only for you. I don't know. What do you mean by on wall? Anyway, good. All the best. My blessings are all with all of you, especially my good friend, student, Mr. Mohammad Aslam, who I'm sure all of you will clear the exam. Okay. And be very, very successful in your life as company chartered accountants. Okay, sorry. You are all chartered accountants. Maybe also company secretaries. Wishing you all the very best. Have a great evening ahead. I have to still work till 10 o'clock. One 264 petition and one I have to dictate one more submission for one case. No problem. Enjoy your work, enjoy your leisure, enjoy your life. Good night. So meeting, sir, over, sir. Class over, sir.